Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for our first live virtual event. I heard a saying the other day that says, "We are not all in the same boat, but we are in the same storm." Some of us are in boats that are stable with plenty of supplies. Some of us are in sailboats gliding over the waves. But for some of our neighbors, their rowboats are leaking and they can't plug up the holes fast enough. They have no supplies and they are adrift and lost at sea. So many of our loving families whose lives are a daily struggle, and that is before they had to deal with the pandemic. They are desperate for a lifeline, in need of being rescued. When COVID-19 hit our community, the phone began to ring with multiple requests for food, diapers, formula, and toiletries. Those who had never had to ask for food before were now requesting it for the very first time. An apartment complex with special needs adults had no way of getting food because their social workers were sheltered in place and had nowhere to turn. We began to mobilize the local churches and volunteers, and they stepped in and they stepped up to distribute food to those families in our community. We were seeing love in action, watching the body of Christ throwing out a lifeline for those who were in crisis. It's always amazing to me to see how God invites us to join Him in His work. This past year, we were able to partner with First Baptist Church and give away 188 backpacks. We were able to equip and graduate 11 Love Plus participants in our Life Skills program. 100 children received $100 gift cards from Target from our Sunrise Rotary for shoes and clothes, and 200 received Christmas gifts from our adoptive family. When the Contreras family called Love Inc. requesting assistance after their PG&E had turned off for 4 days, the husband could no longer work because he depended on electricity to do his job. The struggle had put a strain on their marriage, and they were headed for divorce. They had lost hope in life and didn't know who could help. A donor heard their story and felt led to help the Contreras family. Not only were we able to get their PG&E turned back on, we also provided them with toiletries, a food box, a Visa card to buy their children Christmas gifts, and paid for their rent in January. When they left our office, after spending 2 hours talking and praying with us, their faith and hope in God was restored. Mother Teresa says, "We do not need to carry out grand things in order to show a great love for God and our neighbors. It is the intensity of love that we put into our gestures that makes them something beautiful for God." We are called to love God and love our neighbors. Every day I see people who have lost hope and who are disconnected from the love of God. We can bring hope and come alongside them with redemptive compassion to reveal the heart of the Father by being the hands and feet of Jesus to bring love in the name of Christ.